on records, and then I saw a video of Mixmaster Mike and Hubert using turntables. Asked my dad what they were, and he knew that they were turntables, and like I got a pair, and then I just like practiced, and I never really took it seriously as a career for a long time. I was a bit of a late bloomer, and I just practiced in my room, but I guess I was practicing a lot. Like I was practicing like 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day and not playing any shows, not entering any battles. And then it wasn't until I'd been DJing for 7 years already that I entered DMC and won the regional and the nationals and then the worlds. I was in my last year of university and had a decision to make, and I just went to pursue DJing because it just kind of fell in my lap a little bit. And there's too many to count. Whenever I'm asked that question, I almost have to like break it down to different aspects of DJing, you know, like there's people who inspire me in like technique scratching, like E-Styles and Toad Style and guys like Flip Flop and Rated R, and for like routine scratching, I guys like Tiger Style and Raffic and Woody, and then for beat juggling I like Precision, Beat Junkies, X-Ecutioners, and A-Track and Craze for all around battling. And then on the Canadian level, the Canadian champions of the late 90s, early 2000s, like Lil Jazz, M-Rock, Junior Flow, Wondercut, Shub, Drastic, Brace. I took a lot of influence from Canadian DJs. I felt like we were overlooked a little bit, and everyone gets influenced by the American DJ. And the A-Track is the only guy that like everyone looks at, but a lot of our other Canadian guys kind of got overlooked. So Wondercut, he's a particular influence for me because he beat juggles reverse hamster, and there's only a handful of national or world champions. Like I can only think of maybe 4 or 5 that beat juggle hamster, and so he's one person I look to because I was like, he does it, so if he can do it really well, I should be able to do it. It was DJ Vekked was my first name that I picked. The reasoning at the time, I don't even know if it's a real thing, but when I was a kid, I went on like an airplane, a small one, and I was asking the pilot, like, how do you not crash into other planes? And he said they use air vectors, and I was like, oh, that's a cool idea that they have like highways in the sky or something. I'm not even that sure that's what they are, but that's what stuck with me. And then Vector, I just kind of like that, like the idea and the metaphor of like being able to go anywhere but having a direction or something. But then when I googled DJ Vector, there's like 200 of them. That I already was using it, and people were kind of like calling me DJ Vector, so I changed it to Vekked because it's kind of like fit still. But then VECT kind of looked like half a word. It's kind of like a word play on Vex or something. Well, one is it's like practice and put time in. Like if you want to be really great at it, everybody has to put in their 10,000 hours, or like in the case of if you're trying to go for like worlds, it's more like 20,000 hours, I would say. So everybody's got to do that. Like, don't get discouraged. Do it because you love it. Just do the things about it that you like. If you like scratching, scratch. If you like beat juggling, beat juggle. If you like a certain part of those things, just do that. And whatever keeps you on the decks. Like, I didn't even really like beat juggling at the start, but I did it because it kind of kept me on the turntables when I was bored of scratching. And then I kind of fell in love with beat juggling too. And then I just kind of, I always had something to keep me there. Knowing your history is important too. Because I kind of grew up in the country and I was a bit isolated. And when I was learning, I didn't really have a teacher, but what I did was I'd look at videos and listen to audio from start at the 80s and listen to Jazzy Jeff and Cash Money and those guys and Aladdin and be like, what are they doing? And I try and learn their patterns and stuff, because I was like, if I can't do what they're doing in the 80s on terrible mixers, how am I going to be able to be good by today's standards? So I tried to learn everything from 87, 88, 89 and work my way up. Once it gets to the late 90s, it's people are so good that it's hard to learn everything, but definitely from the late 80s to mid 90s, it's really important to know that and know you can do that stuff. The last thing is just just keeping true to yourself, and like don't listen to other people who are like saying what type of music you should use. You want to listen to people who can help you and teach you more and that you respect and stuff, but there's going to be a lot of people who tell you stuff that isn't right. And even still to this day, like even after winning 7 world titles, I still get people who like criticize the way that I battle and tell me that I should do things differently and stuff, but it's people who have like never battled, and especially with the internet, there's always people like armchair critics. So you just have to like always like ask yourself like, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? And think about the future, and like make sure I try and make stuff that 2 years from now I'm still going to be happy with, or 5 years from now I'm still going to want to play, and I'm not using stuff that I'm like, oh, this is like the flavor of the week, and in 2 years like no one's going to want to hear this song or whatever.
The beat provider.